Good evening, millions of people all over the world. Welcome along to our Wednesday night United Kingdom talk coming to you from Bracknell in Berkshire. It's Wednesday, the 27th of January 2021. Good evening. I must say, I'm feeling... Oh, that's not right, is it? There we are, just a minute. I'm feeling a bit full up, actually. I had a very large lunch this afternoon. I mean, that would have been about 1 o'clock, so it's not exactly like I've just had lunch and I'm sitting, you know, sometimes you have a big dinner, oh, can't move now, oh, it's hurting, it's like actually having a baby, although I wouldn't know because I haven't had a baby. Not had a baby. It must be like having a baby where you got all that dinner and it won't go. Is that what it's like, girls? You know, when there's a baby and it's got quite big and you're thinking, I need to go. And of course you can't because it ain't time for it to come out yet. It will decide. It will decide. Not you, dear. It will decide when it wants to come out, my love. And it's a bit like that when you've had a large dinner. But I had a lunch about 1 o'clock, which was my campfire stew. After a nice long walk over the woods, which was very nice. Actually, when you see that opening video and the one at the end there, that is the woods that is near me. And isn't it beautiful? How lucky am I to have that vast expanse of trees and wildness and grass to go over any time I want. You know, any time I want, I just take off from here, 5 minutes walk, cross a main road, and I'm in. Go a bit further and start collecting people's disgusting rubbish. I've found something very strange this morning. Something very strange, but you'll have to listen to the radio show tomorrow. I've already written down as that my opener. My opener is that little bit I do right at the very, very, very beginning of the show. So they play the news and it goes beep, beep, beep. And then I speak after they sing, Chris Freedom. They sing that and then I have my little opening bit. And it's written down in here. Do you want to know what it is? Do you want to know what it is? No, you'll have to listen tomorrow morning there, okay? Make sure you're there tomorrow morning, 9 till 10 o'clock. All right, Monday to Friday, reachonair.com. And I had a campfire stew for lunch this afternoon with a little bit of cheese on top. And I think it's the rice, actually. I've got this rice at the moment. I don't usually buy it. I usually buy wholemeal rice, you know, the brown stuff. It's not. I think there's a difference between brown rice and wholemeal rice. I think wholemeal rice. You correct me if I'm wrong here. I think wholemeal rice is brown, but brown rice isn't necessarily wholemeal rice. Does that sound right to you? Anyway, I've got some white stuff. I've got some white rice at the moment, and it cooks much quicker. But I think I must do it a little bit too long sometimes because when I finish it in the water, I don't put any oil in, just water. I empty the water, put it through a sieve, okay, and it drips out. And then I tip it up a couple of minutes later into like a bowl. And sometimes it's like one big glop rather than individual little pieces of rice just coming out. Do you know what I mean? It's just like one white mess of stuff. And I'm sure that's wrong. Am I just doing that too long or what? Don't know. So I had that and a couple of slices of bread, and I felt quite full up, and of course lots of chilli and garlic in there. So don't come too close to the camera, to the screen today. Don't come too close to the screen today. All right. Our lead story on the advert today was about squirrels, evil creatures. There they are, gang. Look at them, evil creatures. People eat those. Do you know that? I've got a bloke just a few doors away, not on this sort of row of houses. He's not far. He's a lovely chap, actually, him and his missus. And they eat squirrels. Like, honestly, I kid you not. And on his car, he's got loads of tails of squirrels that he's eaten. It's awful. I had him invade the loft once. Not funny. You don't want squirrels in the loft. Terrible damage. Biting all the wires, eating through copper metal pipes. Terrible damage. You ever got squirrels in the loft? And the noise, what are they doing up there? I've had them here. Took me ages to get rid of them. Dreadful. But there's a lot of them round here, all up in the trees. You watch them. There they are in the garden, digging out another bulb to eat. It's outrageous. I don't even pay rent. Don't even pay for the food. I put the bulbs in the ground. 3 weeks later, the squirrels are out there digging them up. But I've discovered they don't like daffodil bulbs. They seem to leave those. They might have a bite out the side of it, but then they throw them away. And I have to go around and rebury the damn things all over again. It's not right, is it? Well, the government are taking action. When I first saw this story, I thought, oh my God, there's going to be loads of people running around with guns, shooting the squirrels, you know. It'd be like rain. There's so many of them around here. It'd be like rain. There you are. Well, you'd have to have an umbrella. These things, you know. Dead squirrels. And probably more dead squirrels. It would be like a sea of dead squirrels around here. The bloke up the road, he wouldn't have to buy any more food. He'd just eat the dead squirrels. They do look cute. I know they look cute, but it's the damage they do if they try and get inside. I've seen them climbing up a brick wall. There's nothing. And they're fat. So fat. I've named all the squirrels around here Gemma. Gemma the squirrel. Gemma the fat squirrel. That's what I've named them. On the BBC website today, it says the UK government has given its support to a project to use oral contraceptives to control grey squirrel population. So they're going to get it to take the pill. I don't know how that's going to happen. How are they going to do that? Is someone going to hold a squirrel and then they force a pill down its mouth or something like that? Because they got nasty teeth. They got worse teeth than I had when I was a child. I had those. I was Bucktooth. That's what they called me at school. Bucktooth and Bender. And look at the state of some of those boys that are in my class now. Fat, no hair, tracksuit bottoms, no idea how to dress. 200 children running around, raiding their bank accounts every day. Nice one, lads. Here's a Bender sitting in now, doing his own television show to millions of people all over the world. They just don't know about it. Environmental Minister Lord Goldsmith says is that a Jewish name, Goldsmith? Is that a Jewish name? Oh, it's the Holocaust Day today, isn't it? Terrible. Holocaust Remembrance Day when all those dreadful, poor Jewish people were murdered. Awful. Must remember those today. Light a candle. Environmental Minister Lord Goldsmith says the damage they and other invasive species do to the UK's woodlands costs the economy £1.8 billion a year. That, well, £1.9 billion if you include my daffodil bulbs that are damaged. Crocus, I used to have beautiful flowers out there. Nothing left. They've eaten all the bleeding bulbs. Rude. The bizarre sounding plan, which is to give oral contraceptive pills to grey squirrels, the bizarre sounding plan is to lure. I want to be lured. I want to walk past a bush later on and be lured into... the bizarre sounding plan is to lure grey squirrels into feeding boxes only they can access with little pots containing hazelnut spread. Do you like that? Is that a thing, hazelnut spread? I know there's peanut butter. I'm not keen of that. Not keen on peanut butter. I like marmalade. Honey. Honey, yesterday my life was filled with pain. Honey? No, not for you. Do you like anything like that? Hazelnut spread. That sounds quite nice, doesn't it? Who's got any hazelnut spread? You got any like that? Do you think Gemma the squirrel would like hazelnut spread? Is that a thing? The bizarre sounding plan is to lure grey squirrels into feeding boxes only they can access with little pots containing hazelnut spread. Well, that ain't going to work. How are they going to get the lid off? Because you can't put it in there without the lids on, with the lids not on, can you? It'll go off. These would be spiked with an oral contraceptive. I thought there was a law against that, spiking people's drinks and foods. Don't you get put in prison for that? They're going to spike the hazelnut spread. Lord Goldsmith. He sounds very posh, doesn't he? Do you think he lives in a mansion? Has he got one of those big houses with servants? What sort of servants would you have in your house? You know what sort I'd have, don't you? Yeah. They'd all be lads, about 30 years old, walking around. Nice smart suits. And the moment they put too much weight on, they're out the door, mate. Bye! Bye, bitch! Send another one! Won't be any French maids in my house. I'll dress up as a French maid if I want in my own private time. Which I do sometimes in front of a mirror, to be honest. But please keep that to yourselves. Don't tell anyone. It's just my thing, you know what I mean? I like to dress up sometimes as a French maid in front of a mirror. And I sit downstairs with the mirror and watch the telly with my little outfit on. I quite like that. Do you think if I put that on and walked up the road here, that sort of youngish father that I like, do you think he might take a note? Or would he come over and kick the hell out of me? Not quite sure how that would work. Really? His missus sometimes gives us a funny look now, I've noticed that. He doesn't, he's quite chatty. And his kids, they all talk to me, but she gives me a funny look. Isn't that funny? I don't know why. Lord Goldsmith says the damage from squirrels also threatens the effectiveness of government efforts to tackle climate change by planting tens of thousands of acres of new woodlands. We need to plant trees immediately, dear. Is that enough? Got loads around here. Don't need any more around here, to be honest. And there we are. So somehow that's how they're going to do it. They got poor little squirrels. There they are. They look at this little box up there. Oh, it's a new little house for us. What kind humans they are. They go in the box. Oh, they've left us some dinner as well. And I suppose in these little new squirrel houses, there'd be an electric toaster. You know, a loaf of bread. And there it is. On a little table in the squirrel's house. A little pot of hazelnut spread. A little... Mummy squirrel comes up. Do you want some toast? Do you want some toast? Yes, please, Mummy. I some toast. There you are. Then all the squirrels are out there, aren't they? Doing it, you know. No more baby squirrels, because they've all gone on appeal. Poor things. Is that right? Do you agree with that? Do you think that's cruelty to animals? I liken that to eating cats. I'm sorry, I do. In certain countries, they eat cats. Don't say, oh, what a terrible thing, when you sit there and eat lamb yourself. Shall we say hello to some of you you kind people, sending in messages to this ageing television presenter? Hello to Adam the plumber. Good evening, Adam. Talking of putting weight on or taking off, are you doing the weigh-in tonight? Of course we're doing the weigh-in tonight, dear. We did it this morning as well. Not that you were there listening. Not that you were there listening this morning. There they were, my regular girls. Lovely Diane. She was there. Rachel was there. Denise was there. You weren't there, were you? Nope. Too busy. Too busy with your mate. Working in another toilet somewhere. I say working. If you say so, Adam, dear. If you say so. Now, where's my weigh-in list? Oh, my God. I've got endless. I think it's time for another little clean-up here, don't you? Where is it now? What's that? What's this? I mean, this is last week's... Look, I mean, this is last week's things that I was talking about here. Better Off Alone, Alice DJ. We've done that, haven't we? Where's my bit of paper with the weights on it? It should be here somewhere, dears. Maybe it's here. One moment. Maybe I've got it. I've got it. All right, Adam, then, you fat bastard. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Okay, Adam, welcome to Slimmer's World. We never take the mick out of people who have put weight on, so don't worry about that. I wouldn't dream of doing it. Wouldn't dream of doing it. So come on, send your weight in if you're going to send your weights in, everyone. And while you're doing that, let's hello to George Bond. George has had a bit of an accident. You know he does the bow and arrow thing. Apparently the bow snapped in his face. I got to say, George, I've seen you doing that and it worries me. You worry me with that. What a blooming dangerous thing that is, archery. My God. You end up with an arrow going in your eyeball, you'll soon know about it, wouldn't you? You do worry me with that. Hello to John Glazebrook. Evening, John, who says, I love going for a walk. I often take a bag of nuts and feed the squirrels. They're so cute. It's your fault, is it? Well, take a bag of nuts and put one of the pills in there. You get it from one of your lady friends, dear. Not that you've got any of those. Hello to Jason Hughes. Good evening to Fran Green. Good evening, Fran. Fran, I had your record all lined up this morning. Outside by George Michael. And then I looked at the clock and I had... You see, I can't... If my show would... It's not possible to overrun. You know, it's on a timer. And on the time, I get cut off. That's it. There's no way of extending it. And I looked at the timer and there was like... 3 minutes and 22 seconds left, and the song is quite a long song, which is about 4.5 minutes. I thought, and I hate that. I hate it when you're listening to a record on the radio and it finishes before it's supposed to finish. So that's why you didn't get that. If I can just say, if you're going to send this in a request for the radio show, do it within the first 15 minutes, okay? Because after that, it starts getting a bit congested and there's already some stuff lined up. So I can only take sort of a couple of requests in the morning, all right, my love? So that being said, if everyone was to start sending in requests in the first 15 minutes, we wouldn't have time to do it then after. But by 1:30, it's just impossible to fit anything else in. All right, my love. So just ask me for that one again early tomorrow. Or I'll probably even remember to do it and I'll just put it on there automatically. All right, Fran? Outside. I like the video to Outside. You know the George Michael song? That's the bit where he's in the public toilets and the urinals turn around and it's all sparkly and a mirror ball drops down. Apparently, according to the record company, I was the very first person to play that because I knew one of the girls that used to come along to the Black Cap. And she came running in with this record. She said, I've got something for you. You must play it now. I said, OK, what is it? No, it wasn't a girl. Sorry. No, it wasn't. No, it was Niven. He used to work for Sony Records. And he was always coming in the Black Cat where I DJ'd. He'd come running in once. Yeah, Chris, I've got something for you. And he handed me, not a record, but the VHS, a videotape. He said, it's the video to Outside and no one's played it yet. Go on, put it on. And I put it on and I loved it. It was hilarious because he'd just been done. Or did they try and do him or did he get done? I can't remember. Done for hanging around public toilets in Los Angeles, San Francisco, one of those places. And all the papers tried to clobber him. And says, oh, that's a terrible thing. Well, what have I done that's so wrong? Well, you got caught public toilet. Yes. And what's so wrong about that? What was I doing? I was just talking to other people in there. I wasn't doing anything wrong. And he shut them down like that. Once, you see, you only get into trouble if you try and hide something. If you just come out with it, they didn't have a leg to stand on all these bleeding tabloids. Dreadful. Hello to Gary Ross. Evening, Gary Ross in Belfast. Paul in Cornwall is in Devon and Cornwall this evening. DJ Sparky in the house. Hello, Paul. Hello to Gary. Snowpiercer back on Netflix Series 2, which I mentioned this morning, Gary. You weren't there, were you? Oh, dear. Snowpiercer, that's excellent. Series 2 is back on Netflix and it looks that they're only releasing one of them a week. Okay, I say that because I just happened to spot it last night and I put on the first one and I thought, lovely, I'll watch one a day. And then with my lunch this afternoon, I thought I'll watch the second one of Snowpiercer and it's not there, Snowpiercer. So I think they're only releasing one a week and the first one's great. It's really good. And we get to see someone, don't we? We get to see a certain person in it. Spoil it for you, like the Daily Star does. Don't ever read the Daily Star. They always tell you what's coming up in a programme and ruin the story for everyone. They absolutely do. So Snowpiercer, Series 2, Episode 1, now available on Netflix. Thank you, Mr. Gary Butler. Nephew Gary Butler in the house. Hello, Gary. Hello, there's Diane Jeb. Good evening, Diane. Rachel Wheatland in the house. Evening, Rachel. Here comes the weights. Let's see how much weight people have put on this week. Evening to Michael Lawrence. There we are. Adam the Butler today is 19 stone and 4 pounds. Thank you. Which is up 2 pounds from last week. Thank you, Adam. 19 stone, 4 pounds. Now, Adam, so we've been doing this, I think, 3 weeks now. And you're kind of edging up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Time to take it a bit more seriously, Adam. Eh? Time to take it a little bit more seriously, my darling. Okay? It's only you that can do it, my love. Need to lose, dear. Lose. And so you've gone up 3 pounds altogether in the last 3 weeks. You know, it's not an awful lot to go up, is it? It's not really. It's not a lot. But nevertheless, you have gone up a bit. Shall we try and do it next week? Go on, try and lose £1 for me next week. Lose it, go on. Please do it. Do it, darling. Do it, love. Do it. It's the food. Remember, it's the food that you're eating. Do you know where you're going wrong, Adam? I'm doing my whole Linda thing here, you see. Doing my whole Linda thing here. And Royston today is 15 stone, £8, which is down 2 stones from last week. £2 from last week. Congratulations, Royston. 15 stone and 8 lbs. Thank you. This week, I've gone down about £0.5. I started off as 13 stone 7.2, then I was 13 stone 6.2, and now I am 13 stone 5.6. So I'm kind of going in the right direction. I'll be honest with you, don't know why, because I've had a few bags of crisps this week. Okay? And I've had a little bit of bread. I haven't had any cakes or anything like that. Anyone else who's on the list of weighing things? We've got Amelia Phillips here. One man in his Sprinter van. I think he wanted to join, but he hasn't sent his weight in yet. John Kettering, DJ Chris, and Leslie Ross as well. So send your things in there. Hello to Built in Scotland. Mick is in the house. Hello, Mick, to you. All right, Mick. I know you was there this morning, Mick. Don't worry about that. By the way, if you're new to the show, a warm welcome along. If you haven't been to the show for a while, there was a slight change we made just after Christmas. I no longer go into the chat box at all. The chat box is there just for you to talk to each other. I don't look at it at all, okay? The way to contact me is to either use the text number up there, which is a normal text number. It's not premium rate or anything like that. It's just like texting someone else's phone, okay? 07551259675. That's my text number. Or, should you so desire, you can use the email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is my email. Michael Pullman has indeed already emailed today, so hello to you, Mike. And hello to Mike in... let's just transfer you. You're still going into spam for some reason. Why are you going into spam? Let's see if we can fix that. I think I might have fixed that now. But Mike Durham is loving the jacket this morning. Have you not seen this one? It's a bit mad, isn't it, Mike? I've got the green shirt on now. I've got to be honest, the bottom bit where my tummy is very tight on this. Okay, I've actually... You can't see it. And it's the same for the news people on the BBC. I mean, Hugh Edwards, you know. He can't do his shirts up either, my love. Believe me, under that desk, he just sits there in a pair of tatty old white Y-fronts. Oh. I mean, it's not the same as seeing these 30-year-olds in their tight pants, is it? When you see some middle-aged bloke, you know, around about 55, and you look at him in the mirror... Oh, well. Once it's gone, isn't it, darling? I'm glad you like the jacket. I've only got, actually, half my jackets. You see, half of them are up at the Lincolnshire Television Studio Complex. And half of them are here. And I really want my clouds. I've got a lovely clouds jacket. Do you remember the logo for Thames Television? It had all the clouds at the top. It's just like that, and it's one of my favourites. And I've also got their another checked one, a few other little bits and pieces I've got up there, as well as half my shirts. You see, they're up there, and that's why you keep seeing the same clothes a bit more often. I can't afford to buy any more, dear. God's sake, man! And no, I'm not going to get any from Primark. Rude. Mike says he loves I love stodgy rice. That's exactly what it was. Stodgy rice. However, after you strain it, pour boiling water over it to allow it to strain again. This should unstodge it and add a little salt when cooking. Thank you, Mike. I don't actually add salt to anything, you see. Seriously, I don't add salt to anything at all. No salt or sugar. Just don't add it. All right, my love. So once again, don't forget, I don't come into the chat box at all. So if you're trying to message me on there, I just won't see it. You need to send either a text or an email, or we're about to open the phone lines very shortly, gang. Okay. Have I said hello to Shania on the Isle of Wight? Hello, Shania. All right, my love. Hello, darling. Fran Green says, I tried as soon as Adam mentioned public loos, but it wouldn't send. What, this morning? That just happens sometimes, doesn't it? I don't know why people have trouble sending texts now and again, don't they? George says he is the same weight as I was before. Thank you, George. Not trying hard enough, are you, my love, George? Try a bit harder, my love. Try to lose weight the only way you can, and let the fat fall on the floor. Yes. Good evening to the delightful Maureen. Evening, Maureen. It's your birthday soon. I'd like to send you some flowers. Oh, you can't, I'm afraid. I've got nowhere for you to send them, I'm afraid, Maureen. No. As you know, I never give out my my personal address on the show at all, so there's nowhere to send flowers. You could, if you wanted to, send me a picture of flowers. Perhaps the trouble is that usually, I mean, my sister's fine. She don't mind stuff going up there, but I've always been a little bit funny giving out my address, you know. You never know what nutter's going to turn up. Mind you, on the other hand, I might have some fit lad turn up, mightn't I? Perhaps I'm doing myself a disservice there. But nevertheless, Maureen, what I want you to do is spend the money on yourself, right? I want you to get yourself some flowers, and I want you to put them in the corner, and that will do for me. Will you do that for me? I want my flowers to make you happy. Okay? Make sure you do that, and don't spend as much. I'll be really disappointed if you spend as much as yourself as you was going to spend on me. And while you're at it, a nice bar of Galaxy chocolate. All right, Maureen? Thank you, darling. Hello to Weird City Citizen. Says, I'm looking good this evening. Thank you, Weird City. I've had a shave with Harry's razor as well. Ah, there he is. The lovely John McGinley. Hello, John. He's a bit upset because he's 41 a couple of days ago, weren't you, my love? Never mind, darling. It's always so lovely to see you. It's funny, John, you know, when I'm chatting you up in the pub and you're a little standoffish, and then you get drunk and you're all over me, dear. You know, and I'm not one to take advantage of drunk people, as you know, dear. John says, I won't be applying for a job as your butler. That's age discrimination, dear, stating the applicant should be 30. I'm so upset. Well, perhaps that should be wrong. You don't have to be 30 as long as you look it, dear. Which also means perhaps you shouldn't be applying for the job, to be honest, but that's just the way it is. All right, my loves. Have we got anyone else going to give us their weight on the show today? Where's Leslie? How are you doing, Leslie? Is Leslie with us? I think she sent in a little text somewhere. Leslie Ross, I know Gary's with us. Is Leslie? She was on their list. She was 11 stone 3 last week. DJ Chris, 11 stone 6 last week, something like that. Not quite sure. If you're watching on Facebook Live, just a reminder, gang, it's the same as the YouTube chat box. I'm afraid I don't go into the chat messaging system at all there. All right. If you want to contact the show, just send me a little text up there. 07551 259 675. Otherwise, there's just messages coming in from too many places. Or you can send an email. All right. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. We'll open the phone line now as well. That is all ready to go, actually. If you want to call in at any point on the show tonight, it'd be lovely to talk from you. 020 8144 3477 is my local London phone number, okay? 020 8144 3477. Anything you want to talk about while we're chatting around tonight. Please don't do serious. Don't start going on about blooming President Trump or Brexit or viruses. Do you know what I mean? It's a light-hearted show. I don't do serious. If you want to see serious, put on any of those boring breakfast shows in the morning, and they have become boring. Boring. They're too serious. There is no entertainment on in the morning now, unless you put on one of those cartoon channels. Something like that. Oh, dear. Oh, it's Tom Edwards. Hello, Tom. Tom Edwards is in the house. Good evening, Tom, from Thames Television. How wonderful to see you there. Hello, Tom. Good evening to you, Tom. Hope you're well this evening, my love. He lives in a lovely little place, actually, up in Lincolnshire. No, you can't have the address. We don't give addresses out. I keep telling you that. We got a call coming in from George Bond. Hello to you, George.
Hello, Chris.
How are you, George? All right?
Bit hurt, though.
Yeah. Now, what damage have you... You've had some sort of accident with your bow and arrow, haven't you? Do you call it a bow and arrow, or is there some sort of posh...
No, it's just called... It's called bow and arrow.
It is a bow and arrow. So what's happened?
Yeah. What happened was, I went to string my bow, and I'd crunch, and it just broke.
You went to string your bow? What does that mean?
Basically, when you finish with it, you take the string off the bow.
Oh, right, yeah.
And
I didn't know that.
Put the string, yeah.
You
put the string back
So do you have to do that every time you've used it?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. Why is that? Because the string just stretches eventually, I suppose, does it?
No, it damages the bow.
Okay, which is wooden, is it? That's wooden, is it?
Yeah,
Right.
it's wooden, yeah. It's wooden what I've got.
Are all archery bows wooden, or do you get plastic ones and sort of other
You
material?
get plastic ones, you can get carbon.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And is one better than the other?
The expensive prices, the better than the cheap ones.
And how much would an expensive bow cost?
Nearly £3,000.
£3,000.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of money. And how much is a wooden? How much was your one? Was yours sort of medium priced or very cheap?
I can't remember because I've had it so long now.
Right.
Yes.
So what happened? Tell us what happened.
What happened was I was stringing the bow up, so I put the string on the bow.
Yes.
And it just basically demigrated. Basically, just the wood just split and broke.
And ended up where? In your face?
Lucky enough, it didn't.
Okay, so what was the damage done to you?
Damage just basically just hurt me.
Where?
The shock
Where did it hurt you?
on my arm.
Oh, nasty. Have you got nasty bruise there, George?
Yeah.
I hope your nan was able to look after that. Did you tell your nan?
Yeah.
Did you?
And my
You
pal.
poor thing. So is it now broken and you need a new one, do you?
Yes.
Oh. How much are they then?
I don't know.
Oh. Because you like doing that, your archery, don't you?
Yeah.
Are you good at it?
Yes.
Do you get the arrow to go right in the middle of the target? Like bullseye?
Yeah.
Do you remember
Yeah.
bullseye?
Yes.
There's been a couple, and obviously that wasn't an archery thing, but there's been a couple of excellent quiz shows on the television. Bullseye, of course, with Jim Bowen. That was great. He's sadly no longer with us. That was all right. And a similar thing with a crossbow, but people didn't actually hold it. They it was like a gun with a crossbow on it type thing, called The Golden Shot, hosted by Bob Monkhouse, who actually Tom Edwards knew very well. And that was great as well. You're too young to have ever seen The Golden Shot, but you can look it up on YouTube, and I'm sure you'd find a bit of an episode on there. The Golden Shot. I think you'd like that.
Yeah.
That's all crossbows and targets and people trying to get in the middle of the target there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Guess who keeps winning me?
Ooh,
Peter Wright.
Peter Wright. Well, say hello to him, darling, and be his friend.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling, George. Have a lovely day.
Okay.
Bye-bye now.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Oh, hang on. Pushed the wrong button there. Poor old George. Bless his heart. Hurt himself there. 020-8144-3477. Adam the plumber just texting in there. He says he's now got a Harry's razor, which I've got Harry's razors now. Harry's razor. Look at that. Smooth as a baby's bum, that. Look at that, eh? Smooth, dear. Smooth sailing. Da-da-da. Radio London. Remember that jingle? Smooth sailing. It's smooth sailing on a highly successful turn of wonderful Radio London. Do you remember that? No, didn't think you would. But Adam the plumber has now got a Harry's razor. He said they're very good. I think the problem that I'm suffering with regarding the weight is that there are no cafes open for me to have 3 square meals a day, and I'm snacking during the day, so struggling to eat properly during the day. Have you not got time to make a sandwich or two, my darling? Eh? You should make a little packed lunch. You know what Linda would say at Slimming World, dear? Make a little packed lunch, perhaps. Some nice lettuce leaves and a tomato and a couple of carrot sticks. Piece of celery. Or you could have a bag of crisps, a chocolate bar, a great big thick bread like that with gallons of butter oozing from the sides. There's no excuse for eating that rubbish, dear. You should have packed lunch in the morning. Oh, I haven't got time in the morning. We'll do it at night then, before you go to bed, love. All right? Thank you, Adam. Good evening to Glenda in Pittsburgh. Good evening, Glenda. Hello, Mr. England. Sending all my love to UK friends. Thank you very much for that. Someone's texted in here who says, I'm 8 stone. Finishing 037. Don't know who you are, my darling. So if you want to text back and just let us know your name and perhaps where you are. All right. John Glazebrook says, I'm very good with a bow and arrow, but coming from Nottingham and being related to Robin Hood, I would be. Robin Hood, with his merry men. Robin Hood, riding through the... Those merry men were a bit sus, weren't they? And those... what are those maypole dancers? Oh, that's not right, is it, darling? Running around a great big old thick pole, dear, with little bells on their feet and ribbons all over their arm. Men, dear, men. Please. Oh, we're all straight. Of course you are, my darling. If you say so. Anyone can be anyone they want now. You know that. If you wish to identify as a stick of celery, you may now do that. Probably have your name changed as well on your birth certificate. Gender, stick of celery. You can do that now. There's lots of little left-wing groups out there for you to join, my darling. Except don't ask me to join them. Hello to Danny Davis. It's Danny Davis. I'm here watching on my big screen. I'm 12 stone 11 on the way in. Are you joining our little list, are you, Danny? Danny Davis from the Welsh Valleys, who lives now in Essex. Don't tell them you're from Wales. Those Essex boys will come round and kick the hell out of you, mate. Danny Davis. Right, let's just write that down. Danny Davis, 12 stone 11. Thank you, Danny. Well, you're lighter than me, darling. But I've seen your face. Isn't that funny? You don't look it. Why is that? Some people who are lighter, they say they're lighter than me. And then you look and there's this head is like this. Like a Rottweiler, love. But without the violence, you know. Thank you, Danny. Leslie, there's Leslie Ross. There she is. I've got you on YouTube, watching on the TV as I'm playing games on my phone. I haven't forgotten about my way in. I will email you as soon as possible. Thank you, Leslie. We need to know your weight. Chris Woodhouse is in the house. Good evening, Chris. And Chris says, good evening, Chris. Just to let you know, I have posted a little something for your birthday. Oh, I see. I wonder what that is. But don't say anything online. You can't send something like that while I'm here, dear. I read them as they come through. Too late. Mick Davenport. Good evening to Mick Davenport. Ray Reynolds is in the house. He's having his vaccination tomorrow at 10 o'clock at Stratford Westfield Shopping Centre. Good luck with that, Ray. I know a few people that have had those vaccinations now, and it's all right. Amelia's not getting weighed till Saturday. Thank you very much. And who's it? Oh, it's Claire, is it? Hello, Claire. You won't need to send your name again, Claire, now. Once you've sent it, I put that into the system and we know who that is. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, you're about to leave us here, gang. We shut down the Facebook Live stream. You need to join us on YouTube, okay? If you just go type into your address bar at the top there, either unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, all right, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. That will take you straight to the YouTube page. And you'll be able to join us with everyone else there. Alternatively, if you go onto YouTube, search for Chris Reardon UK, and you should be able to find us there as well. So thank you for joining us on Facebook Live, and this is where you leave the show, all right? Don't forget, you can call in, gang, 020 8144 3477. 020 8144 3477 is my local phone-in number. Okay, so we've done the squirrels. I had my car serviced. This week as well. Oh, let me just check my emails. Danny Woodhouse. Hello to Danny. Is enjoying the show today. Thank you very much, Danny. Nice to see your little face appear there. Evening, Danny. Danny in Essex as well. Yeah, I had my car serviced on Monday, which was fine. It was all very clean in there. You know, you can't just walk into the car place anymore. You have to ring a bell on the front door. Okay, and then someone comes out to meet you. They've got the mask on. You've got to have your mask on. And actually, you don't even have to go in. They will take... Do you want us to take your keys off you here? Oh, yeah, thank you very much. Because they all know you. You know, once you've been going to the same service place for a while, they recognise you. And you're on the list where you've booked in anyway. So I handed over her my keys. And she says, do you want to sit in here? Or are you waiting? And I'm like, yes, I'm waiting. She said, do you want to sit in here? I said, no, that's okay. I'll go for a walk now because I'm very funny sitting in places. I won't go in an enclosed space unless I absolutely have to, like a supermarket. And even then I go in 20 minutes to 10 at night when there's no one else in there. I will not go in an enclosed space, not with this virus business about. And so I said, no, I'll go for a walk. Okay, so off I went for a walk. And it was a little bit icy on some of the pavements. Walking in, of course, a different area that I usually walk in. The Toyota place is near a place called Binfield, which is quite nice. It's a bit villagey. Do you know what I mean? There's not too many houses there. That being said, it is, of course, unfortunately, like many places, starting to expand. And you kind of, obviously they need to put the houses somewhere, but you lose entire fields, whereas before you were walking through the place and now there's just an enormous building site. It's heartbreaking, really, seeing that. But, of course, the houses have to go somewhere. And so I walked into Binfield and there was some ice on the ground, on the pavements more than the roads. So I walked a bit into the road. But that was all right. And then I came back and about an hour and a half later, hour and 3/4 later, and my car was ready and off I went. I did have a little tyre light come on. But they said, well, we've pumped up the tyres and it's gone out, so it should be okay. So I'll know next time I get in the car, which I don't know, probably won't be for a couple of weeks because I only go shopping every couple of weeks now, as I say, around about 20 to 10 at night. And but it's the price of a car service, I mean, they changed a bit of oil and checked the things, this, that and the other, 180 quid, But I did have that happily sitting in the bank because when I bought them, I don't buy cars, I rent them. Okay, it's called PCP or PEP, something like that. I can't remember what it is now. So I pay so much a month and I have the car. And at the end of the period, you can opt to pay a huge amount of money and keep that car. Or you can swap it for another one. And if there's any value in that, it comes off the next one. So that works quite well. That does work quite well for me. Although it's blooming expensive when you've got a car sitting in a garage and you're not using a damn thing. I mean, the last long journey I did was coming back from our Lincolnshire television studio complex back in October. That's the last time I did a long journey. Since then, it's all been little journeys going up and down there. Shocking. And whoever's that calling in, I'll be with you in a moment. All right, my darling? And it's just a lot of money to be sitting there doing nothing. But unfortunately, that's what you signed up for. It's one of those things. One of the other things I signed up for was a service plan. So each month you pay a certain amount and that when you take it in, it's all paid for, right? But what they do is work out how many miles you're going to do a year. And I always go for about 30,000. I do a lot of miles going up and down to Lincolnshire, you see. So it's in and out of London all the time. So there's a lot of miles there. Of course, since last March, I've done not even half of what I was going to do, right? So as well as that, it hasn't been going in for services because I'm not getting anywhere near the miles. The last service was this time last year, right? And I had a feeling, I must have built up a load of money. Anyway, I rung up the service plan people and I'd built up over £1,000. And of course, it's just sitting there. I said, well, that's no good. I said, you're going to have to send some of that back. I'm just sitting there doing nothing. Well, we can't do that, but we can cancel the contract and send back what we've paid. And that's what happened. Of course, £30 administration charge. Bloody shocking, that, isn't it? £30 administration charge for holding on to my money. I ain't doing that again. So that money came, she said, within 28 days. It actually came back to me within 2 weeks, so that's fair enough. And so £1,000 in, 180 out, that's not bad. And I probably won't have to pay anything again, I would imagine, until next January. So all car nice and serviced. Hello, who's on the line, please?
Hello, Mr. Reader, and how are you?
That sounds like Mr. John McGinley.
It is indeed.
I
Hello,
knew
young
it was
man.
you. I recognise that thick Irish accent. How are you today, darling?
I'm grand.
Nice to hear you. What are you ringing in for, my love?
Right, what's this all about squirrels and Snowpiercer? Snowpiercer have got 2 episodes on my Netflix.
Oh, what? 3 episodes from series 2?
No, 2.
2
And
episodes.
then I was dying to go on to see what happened to the next episode because I was doing binge watching.
Right.
And then there was no episode 3 of series 2, of course.
Are you?
So
Where are you in London?
yes, I'm in London. Yes, been stuck here since last year.
Well, series 1 is all on there.
Yeah.
I wonder
and
if you mean series 1 because I can only.
No. Series 2 come out yesterday, didn't it?
That's right. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So I watched Series 2, Episode 1, and then it went off. You know how it does next episode?
Oh, hang on.
according to
It's
the
there.
script.
Hang on, I think it's there. No,
Yeah,
hang on.
but
That's
there's only
season. No,
two.
hang on.
There's only 2 there.
Just a minute. Season 1. I've only got 1 program on mine. Season 2, 1 program. Only 1 on there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, seriously, I've watched 2 episodes of Season 2.
What's the
Last
name of
night.
the first episode of season 2?
Sorry?
What's the name of the first episode of season 2 then?
Oh, hang on 1 second.
Have a look.
I'm going to look right now for you.
Please hold while we try and connect you, eh?
Oh, God. Where did you get that jacket, by the way? It looks lovely.
Do you? Amazon, I think. They're not novelty jackets. Are not very expensive. £25, maybe 30. They're not expensive. The novelty ones. Yeah, even the Clouds one. I think that was about 30 quid. The Christmas jackets, again, very cheap unless you buy them very close to Christmas. In which case they do shoot up. If you want one of these like Christmassy jackets, I've got three or four Christmas jackets. One of which Ray Reynolds gave me. This beautiful blue one, and that's like a proper thick thing. But the other ones, at the moment, they're probably about 20, 25 quid if you want to get one in stock there. All right?
Okay, right. So,
Have you found it, dear?
Oh, I did, yes, by mistake. No, I definitely watched 2 episodes of season 2 last night.
You must have watched one of the series 1 ones. Can you only see episode 1? Because I can't see any more than that.
Yeah. The time of 2 engines.
That's right. That's episode 1.
Right. So how did that end? So episode 1 of series 2 ended with that big geezer with the big dreadlocks said about now the borders. There's a border between the rear train and the front one.
That's right. He said he's got to have martial law, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Right. That's bizarre. Because
I think you might have watched something else, to be honest. But that's okay. You know, it's one of those things. Who is your favourite? Who's your favourite character?
Oh, come on. You know who it is.
Melanie.
No.
No? Oh, she's my favourite
No.
character, Melanie. She's a cow.
Did you watch the film of Snowpiercer?
Yes, I did. Only a couple of weeks ago. Very different. I have to say, the train didn't look as good, did it?
No.
No.
I didn't think so.
Train wasn't as good at all.
Another good show on Netflix as well. If anyone wants like a feel-good thing that's flamboyant and gay and whatever else, AJ and the Queen.
Oh, I've seen that. Wonderful.
Oh,
Sadly,
it was heart-wrenching lovely. I thought it was fantastic.
Wonderful. Sadly, not renewed for series 2, unfortunately, which means probably not too many people watched it. But that was great, wasn't it, with RuPaul and that little girl? Fantastic.
I am not a huge fan of RuPaul, but the way that he wrote that, didn't he, or co-wrote it?
I believe so, yes.
That was so beautifully done.
Yeah.
So beautifully done, I thought.
Yeah, it really was, wasn't it?
I did. Oh, it was, do you know what? It was so like heartwarming for me, I thought.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And then I watched the other night. It's a Sin.
Oh God! Yeah,
God,
don't even
I
go
was
there.
in
Yeah.
bits. Dear God.
Don't talk about that now because it's very new and a lot of people haven't watched it yet. But we highly recommend it, don't we?
Yes, anyone that's listening, like, it's a Sin. It's absolutely fabulous.
That's
absolutely fabulous.
Is that channel 4 or 5? One of those two, isn't it? Channel 4.
I think it's channel 4.
It's channel 4. Just to let you know, not something to watch with children, though, because there's a little bit of rudeness in that here and there, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
Not something to watch with children, so there we go. All right.
Not for the faint-hearted.
Not for the faint-hearted, darling. You'd be all right. You've seen it all, dear.
Well, of course I have.
John, a pleasure to talk to you, John.
And you, my darling, take care.
Cheerio. Bye-bye, John. By the way, happy birthday for last week. 41 now, and you look every year of it, dear.
Oh.
Bye. Oh, I'm so naughty this evening. There we are, some recommendations there. Let's... one second there. Let me just reopen our little thing there. John Parish, hello to John Parish. £67.50 for his bottles of gas. Oh, sorry, we were talking about bottles of gas the other week. I pay £65 a month, for a bottle of gas on our caravan site in Lincolnshire. So £67.50, I mean, it's about the same, isn't it? About the same, there we are. All right, and he's looking for a house to buy. Fran, the best way to lose weight is write everything down. Be honest, even your drinks and treats. Then I realised how much I'd had. Yeah, you'd probably... That's true, isn't it? Yeah, I think we all underestimate, maybe, how much we eat sometimes. Danny Davis says he saw Priti Patel running past my house with the whip earlier. Did you? Was she loud? There she goes again. He's talking about my radio show this morning, actually. We were talking... Again, that little opening bit at the beginning involved Priti Patel. I won't tell you what it was. You'll have to go back and listen to it. All right. 0208 144 3477. What's that there? Oh, you've sent George has sent something in. Have you, George? Okay, thank you. Good. So that's that. What else we got here? Companies that have changed their names or logos. And you thought, why? Now, which story does this relate to? I've got a story up about that somewhere, haven't I? 1 minute now. There we go. It's Amazon. Amazon. Don't know if you've noticed. Have any of you got the Amazon app on your mobile phone where you order stuff? Yeah? I'm always, admittedly, flicking across that, looking at just stuff. I don't buy anything, really, on the... What's it? You know, when you see something, I must have that. I'm not like that. I need to search for something that I'm looking for. I might have a little browse, but it's extremely rare for, that's nice, I'll buy that. I'm not like that. Impulse buyer. I'm not like that. Anyway, I picked up the phone the other day and I thought, the Amazon app's gone. I thought, that's strange. I found it eventually because they've changed it. They've changed the Amazon app. I'll come to it in a moment. Hello, Claricea. How are you, darling, in Manchester?
Hey, darling. How you doing?
Evening, Claricea. What you got for us tonight, darling?
Oh, I'm just catching up on what you've been saying at the moment and
yes.
that. Nighttime shopping, and now you're on about Amazon. I'm an Amazon addict.
Do you? How many boxes?
Netflix.
How many boxes do you get a week through that post, my love?
Oh, my goodness. It's always busy around Christmas time and birthday time.
Right.
It is, but at the moment, I'm on a site called Zoom.
What's it called?
Zoom, Joom.
Joom. Okay, go on.
Yeah, and Wish as well.
And what's that?
Oh, it's where I normally just get my clothes and stuff from. So, but I'm waiting on a ton of stuff to be imported from China at the moment. That's on the way, so yeah.
Oh, it's women's... Oh, no, there's loads of stuff on there. Men's clothes,
there's
everything.
Loads of stuff on there. It's brilliant.
And is this all from China?
All right.
Okay, there's a site... Now, that looks very similar to the site I use. I have a Rosegal, Rosegal. Now, that site is where my backdrops come from, actually, Rosegale. And that's in China. And to be fair to them, it can take a couple of weeks, but it isn't as long as you would think it would be. Do you know what I mean?
I ordered my stuff at the beginning of January.
Right.
And it all should be hopefully coming through my letterbox within the next few days.
Okay. I see they've got all sorts of things on here. Suits and blazers. Let's have a look at those. Got any unusual jackets there? You know I like me unusual jackets, dear. The only thing is with the Chinese sizes, they can be a bit small, can't they? If you order
clothes.
Yeah,
that's why I always go for a size a little bit bigger than what I normally am.
Yes, I mean, I've got a couple of shirts and I can't wear them. I can't wear them, unfortunately. Yeah. Too far, I won't even do up. There's a lovely one I've got. It's yellow with musical notes on it, you know?
Ooh, very snazzy.
Yeah, but it don't work.
Oh, man, that's bad.
Talking about Netflix,
again,
you were then? Go on.
Sorry, I was going to say, yeah, because at the moment, I'm just getting this vast collection of boots at the moment.
Boots?
I am. Yeah.
Are the boots made for walking? And walking they must do. One of these days, these boots are going to walk all over you. Yeah.
Not with my boots, trust me. Oh, my God, I'll squish you.
I used to not me, we had a friend called Mary, non-Irish Mary from Ireland, who we lost about a year and a half ago, sadly.
I remember, bless her.
To cancer. And one of the songs she used to do was These Boots Are Made for Walking. And then when it got to the last chorus, I would literally lay on the stage and she would walk over me. Didn't I hurt my back? But she didn't weigh very much.
My
so,
goodness.
Yeah.
So go on, what was you going to say before?
Yeah. Eh?
You was about to say something beforehand.
About what?
I don't know, you didn't say.
Was I? Oh, I can't remember now. That's gone out of my head now, my love.
Oh, that's all right. We always have a craft moment, and no, I'm not going to say what it means on here because it's a family show. You know. But Netflix, my dear, I didn't know you was into Netflix.
Well, I've got it. I'll be honest, I seem to abandon a lot of series. I get after a few episodes, and then I think, I'm not really watching this. It's just kind of on in the background. And I abandon series after 2 or 3 episodes. That happens quite often. On the other hand, there is some stuff I do like. What do you like?
Well, to be honest with you, I normally like binge watch. I do I binge watched the first series of Snowpiercer. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Loved it. But I will not watch the second season until it ends.
Because you want to.
And then I'll just.
Because you want to watch them all in one go.
Oh God, yes.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
At the moment, it's all about Cobra Kai.
Yeah. And now I've seen that. I've got that saved on my list. That is saved on my list. Who's your favourite character in Snowpiercer?
I don't know the names. It's been so long since I binge watched the first one. But what's the name? The one that owns the train thing.
Melanie.
Is that what her name is?
Yeah, she's a cow.
I know.
She put that bloke's arm out. What happened to? Did it happen to her? No, it didn't. She put that bloke's arm out outside the train. It froze. She brought it in and smashed it off with a hammer.
No, it was the mother. Was it the mother of the little girl? That happened in season 1, didn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember now.
They were going to put the little kid's arm out, weren't they?
Smashed the arm off.
And I was like, damn. But do you actually recognise who that is? The actress who plays her?
No.
Seriously?
Go on.
Wow. Oh my God, it was in my head then. I think she was Labyrinth.
Oh, well, I didn't watch that.
The film Labyrinth with David Bowie. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I know it's around there because I always used to get into Jennifer something.
That's years old, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah, but still a classic.
She must have been really young when she did that then.
Oh, hooked on it. I am.
Okay. No,
I
don't
movie
think,
Labyrinth.
I may or may not have seen that. I can't remember. Is that who she is it? Has she been in other stuff?
I haven't really seen her in anything else, but
Right.
as soon as I saw her, I was like, oh my God.
Okay. Yeah, okay,
She's
fair enough.
aged brilliantly.
Fair enough.
You know, but no, at the moment, it's all about Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. Now, tell us what that's about, because I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, do you remember as kids we used to watch The Karate Kid with
I loved
Mr.
it.
Miyagi?
I like the old man. Wonderful.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a series after that. It is, and they've all come back into it, and it's awesome.
Has the young boy become the old man? Is he, or what? How's it work?
What, Daniel?
Yeah, the one who was in the Karate Kid films. Yeah. Is he now?
Daniel's in it.
The old
Johnny's in it.
Okay.
Johnny, the guy that he fought right at the end.
Right.
Of the first film. Kreese is in it again. Oh, whoa! It's getting so good now.
I can't.
It is, but
again,
you know John Kreese. You know the actual dojo Cobra Kai, and it was run by a guy called John Kreese.
No, don't remember.
Oh,
it's a long time since I watched some of this stuff.
You know, you need to rewatch that. It is awesome, the movies.
All saved on my list, that one, Claricea.
Oh, you're going to love it.
What about Bridgerton? Did you watch Bridgerton, or is that not your thing?
It's not my thing, really, to be honest with you.
Okay.
You know, I just binge watch different bits and pieces that I find.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I mean, I normally go on to the CW channel over in America because I've got a VPN.
Oh, it's a virtual thing, is it? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
It's a little thing that you can get. My boy put it on for me.
Right.
And I binged watched all of Supernatural in Winchester. Oh.
I haven't seen that, darling.
Probably not your thing, to be honest with you. And that. But anyway, nighttime shopping.
Nighttime shopping, is that what you do?
Love it.
Go on. What time do you leave the house to go shopping?
Me, I got it silly o'clock in the morning when well, not anymore because obviously everything closes at bleeding midnight. So, but no, I used to go about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, really? Is that an Asda by any chance?
Well, when I was in London, I'd do it in Asda and also down here at Tesco's as well.
Okay. So and where are you again? You're in Manchester?
Yeah.
You just said down here. That's up there.
No,
up there.
No, I said when I was in London, I used to do it in Asda.
Right.
But where I live in Manchester, we've got a Tesco's.
Okay. Which one in London did you go to then?
One in Roehampton.
Oh, of course, yeah. Because I told you I lived in Roehampton, didn't I?
Aye.
Yeah. Used to live in Roehampton.
You know?
Long time ago.
I don't know, I love it. It's just so much easier.
It's a big old place, that is. And my mother and father are buried just behind it, of course, in the
Roehampton Lane.
Yeah.
Aye.
Putney Vale
It's a big one there, isn't it?
It is quite big, yeah.
You know? But no, me and my mate, when I was in college back in the day, we used to run a riot around there. Oh my God, we used to get a trolley each and go trolley rage.
It's huge, isn't it?
I was just like on the trolleys. It was so funny. How we didn't get kicked out in bands, I would never know.
When I used to do
about 20 odd.
When I used to do bingo, I'd get a load of the prizes in there because we used to give away toasters and kettles and things like that. And a lot of the prizes used to come from Asda because it was so reasonably priced. It was just little prizes to give away, you know. Just a bit of fun, really.
It's so cheap, innit?
Yeah, it is. Here it is.
You know, but
all the spirits.
So what's this about logos then? Changing?
Logos, yeah, Amazon. Amazon have changed their logo. That's why I couldn't find it on my iPhone, and it's awful. It's awful.
What the hell
I thought the Amazon logo was lovely. It was a little blue thing, wasn't it, with a big arrow going across it? No. Some dickheads decided to change it. It says Amazon have revealed the new design for their smartphone. This is in the Daily Mirror. Their new smartphone app icon, and it's caused a stir on social media as many people weren't impressed. Now, I'm going to put it up on the screen, but bear in mind, if you're watching the screen, you're like 20 or 30 seconds behind, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't stand out. It's like a browny yellow. It looks like a parcel. Okay, the colour is the same colour as a piece of brown paper on a parcel. There's like this blue. I don't know what that is at the bottom. Like little triangles, like a crown at the top, and a black arrow going from left to right, and it just doesn't look right. It says Amazon have been mocked on social media over the new icon for the smartphone app. Customers were quick to suggest that the online retailer rethink their design, as some joked that it looked like Adolf Hitler. Oh, I can see where that's coming from. It's awful. Awful.
Ew.
The icon featured as a company's signature smile logo, as well as some blue... it's tape, is it? Apparently that's blue tape at the top. It's not a crown. Can you see that at all, Clarissa, or not?
Wow, it looks like a cheap blue Peter.
Yeah.
He's one I made earlier, John,
It's dreadful. And it's a shame. It's a shame. And the story goes on a little bit more, but basically people don't like it. And it's a shame because the other logo that they had was great. We loved it. A little blue thing. It was clear. You knew what it was. And the amount of times that stupid people either go into companies or already running them and they decide to change something. And everyone hates it. I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but years ago, British Airways took the Union Jack or the Union flag off the back tail of their aeroplanes.
Yep, I remember that.
And they replaced it with all these other designs. And you looked at these planes and you thought, why, oh why, would you take the flag of the country that it serves off the back of a plane? And I always remember Margaret Thatcher, whether you like her or not, that's pretty irrelevant in this case. She was taken around British Airways
away from schools.
Yeah, she was Thatcher the milk snatcher. Anyway, she was taken around this British Airways place, right, looking at all the planes, and this top knob says to her, "And what do you think of the new designs on our planes, Mrs. Thatcher?" Absolutely dreadful. And she just carried on walking. She hated it. It was awful. And it's not just logos these companies do. They changed the names. Now,
do you know what my biggest bane about that is, yeah? Do you remember years ago, yeah, we used to have sweets called opal fruit.
Oh, sweet chain. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they changed it to Starburst.
Starburst. Well, what does that mean, Starburst? And marathon.
Yeah.
Everyone knew what a marathon was.
Yeah, no, it's called Snickers.
And that's
why?
It's just the word Snickers just doesn't sound nice, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It's got a ring to it. There's certain words that have got a horrible ring, and that's one of them. Snickers just doesn't sound good. And then we had British Gas. British Gas, I think, changed their name to Centrica. I mean, how does that refer to gas? When you say British Gas, what do you think of? Gas. If I say
gas,
Centrica,
what it says on the bottle, doesn't it? Gas.
Yeah. If I say Centrica, doesn't mean anything. And even the post office. The post office changed their name at some point. Now, I can't remember what it was now. Post office name changed. I don't know. Post office name change. Consignia. That was it. The post office changed their name to Consignia. Now, how would you know what the word consignia means? You wouldn't. Every blooming country in the world, post office means somewhere you go and send letters and pay bills. You know it straight away. Anyway, all these companies, eventually, they change their names back again. But no doubt some
blooming money.
Yeah, no doubt some prat at the top receives tens of thousands of pounds for coming up with that name. Often, I think some of these people, they just sit there and they need to justify their position in the company and come out with crap like that and new designs that no one ever likes. You know.
The mind boggles. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
British Telecom have done it over the years. They done it once.
Tell me about
Do you remember the man with the trumpet? That was their logo. A man with a trumpet. How does that refer to telecommunications? I mean, a man with a phone, maybe, yes. Mind you, you could argue that Busby, you know, how does that refer to telephones? But we all quickly...
I love Busby.
We all quickly adopted Busby as our little friend, didn't we? That little yellow bird.
Do you remember the little stickers that you could get? Like a little furry thing with the big feet? And
little bugs. Little bugs, weren't they? Little bugs. George Bond says the National Grid changed their name to the National Network. Right. Okay, thank you, George. Thank you, Stacey. Yeah. So I don't know why they changed, but as I say, it's Amazon who's just changed their logo to that, and it looks dreadful. As that thing at the top is a piece of tape, apparently. Well, I wouldn't have said that was a piece of tape. Who uses blue tape? Does anyone use blue tape? No, it's brown, isn't it? It's brown tape. I've got some of it here that I send out my prizes
I've got
with.
an Amazon parcel here anyway. I have. Well,
Have you?
box anyway that I'm not allowed to get rid of because the cats have now adopted it and it's been in my front room now for about 3 weeks. Every time I go to rip it up, the cats are like, no, mine, and they just jump in it. I'm like, okay.
All these people that spend a fortune on cat beds, don't they? And then the cat goes and sleeps in the bleeding box.
Oh, I know. It's my lot. I mean, I'm constantly having a fight, you know what I mean? As soon as I get a blooming box, that's it. Either, like, one of them are in it. And I swear the other two, like, they take it in turns and they're like guards in the box because they know that I'm thinking, I really need to rip that up and put it in my recycling bin. It's looking a little bit tatty now. And it will be like, one of them jumps in it. And I'll be like, right, okay. And then the other two will be sitting there looking at me. I'll be like, right. And then one of them get out, and then the other one will jump in. I'm like, oh my God. And yeah, I'm looking at it right now, yeah. I've got Loki here beside me, I have. I've got Elvira stalking around somewhere, and I've got Blumizina asleep on the sofa, and it's like, but you're not using it. But guaranteed, I'll get up here to move that box, and I'm going to be straight in it.
My mate's cat goes to sleep in his Waitrose bag. It literally climbs in because they're like cloth bags. It climbs in, he picks, that's a bit heavy, there's a cat in there asleep.
Oh, no. My mate Josh came round here a few days ago, he did, and he took his laptop out of his rucksack, and Zena decided to jump in there, curl up and go to sleep.
Oh, they're funny, aren't they, cats?
He freaked out. He was like, my bag's moved. I'm like, yes, you had a Zena in your bag. And he's like, oh, okay.
Never mind.
So I know they're weird. They are
Well,
totally
Claricea,
weird.
as always, lovely to talk to you tonight, my darling.
All right, my darling.
Happy birthday to everyone in Manchester. Is it a birthday in
Oh.
Manchester? It must be someone's.
Oh, it's probably someone. I mean, it's full of them.
Cheerio to
It
you, my
is, so
darling.
yeah.
Bye-bye, Claricea.
All right,
my
darling.
love.
Bye.
Up in Granada land, there's Claricea. 0208 144 3477. If you want to send us, want to call in tonight, okay? Danny Woodhouse says, I want to play a game of Mornington Crescent with you. Is that a game then? I don't know what that is. Is that a game? Well, you don't mean Monopoly then? You want to play Mornington Crescent with me? I have no idea what that is if that's a game. All right, Danny, perhaps you'll let us know what that means, okay? Don't forget, if you want to text in the show tonight, it's 07551 259 675. Or this fortnight's Super Chat prize, we're giving away our Christmas backdrop that we used this year. That's on here. There it is. Christmas backdrop. I'm afraid the Christmas jumper is not included. It's just the backdrop there. So whenever you send in a £1 super chat, which you can do either super chat or PayPal, it's entirely up to you. Every time you send in a £1 super chat, I will give you a free raffle ticket. And draw for that will be not this Saturday, but the Saturday after. So if you want a chance of winning that, just send a £1 super chat. I'll give you a free raffle ticket to win the Christmas backdrop behind me, which is actually sitting down here, right in front of me. There it is here. There it is. Wait, all folded up nicely, all waiting to be won, okay? That's our Super Chat prize. Right, what else have we got here, my loves? Contactless cards. How'd you get on with those in the supermarket? Can't remember if I told you, but last Sunday I went down to the Co-op to buy some bread and a couple of little bits and pieces. And it wasn't working. In fact, all of the Co-ops, their touch and pay thing had gone down. Fortunately, I know one of the members of staff in there who lent me a tenner, and then I took it back down to him an hour later when I come back here. But nevertheless, they're a bit limited, aren't they? In these days of spending quite a lot of money in supermarkets, I know most of you probably spend more than me in a supermarket. The most, I would never spend 40 quid in a supermarket, to be honest. Probably the most I ever spend is about 35 quid because I don't go to Waitrose. If you go to Waitrose, you always spend a minimum of 60 quid in there. But they're going to put it up from 45 quid to 100 quid on the old touch and go payment thing in the sun. It says tap and pay. Shoppers may be able to make contactless payments for transactions worth up to £100. It's already been increased from £30 to £45 at the start of last year. But they're thinking now of turning it up again. Now City Watchdog, the Financial Conduct Authority, has said it's considering raising the limit from £45 to £100 on the touch and go, which presumably means there's not a lot of fraud going on with that sort of thing. I've just assumed. Because if there was, they wouldn't do it. So maybe they've got on top of that for now. Let's take another call. It's Danny. Hello, Danny.
Hello, Chris.
Good evening.
Hello. I can hear my voice back.
That's
Chris,
nice for you.
I can hear my voice backing on.
Right, okay.
My voice is feedbacking.
Are you calling on Skype?
Yes.
That's probably why.
Oh, it's gone now.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. I suppose I've got to get down to the serious bit first before we go about.
Oh, is there a serious bit? Why have you always got a bleeding serious bit?
No, it's big. Well, it's part of my remit to protect my people.
What people?
And you was going to talk about a certain new scam that's happened, wasn't you?
Yes.
That was on your agenda.
Yes.
Well, there was a scam happening on Facebook last night.
Oh.
And
Tell
it was
us
the
more.
new Ed Sheeran scam.
Ed Sheeran?
Yeah.
Is he still going?
Apparently so, but there's this person who it was found out was a woman.
Yes.
Right. It was on some group of it. It came up, so and so has posted something in one of your groups. So I go on this group. It was a Garda bingo group. I go on, and it's got it put this video. Ed Sheeran is live.
Oh right, yeah.
And there's this profile called Ed Sheeran Live, right? So there's this video going, and it's got next to it. If you can recognise the number in this photo,
yes.
you will win a share of £5,000. Now, if you got to look at the photo carefully, I could see it was 571. So he put in the comments 571. Next moment you do that, all of a sudden you get a PM private message come up saying, congratulations, you've identified the number. All we've got to do now is share this video to so many of your groups and do this, do that, do
that
this,
old
do
one,
that.
yeah. Share the video, please share.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, and then, well, I realised it was a scam eventually because you only have to listen to the video.
Yeah.
And you hear Ed Sheeran saying, he says something like along the lines of, hang on. He said, yeah, well, I don't think I'll worry about that now. I'll probably do it when I come back in 2018. And I thought, no,
And that was a scam, was it?
Yeah.
How is that getting money out of people?
Well, it's well. The thing is, because he said that I'll come back in 2018. I realised what it was. It was not actually live video. It was. You think it was live. You think it's Ed Sheeran actually like talking to you. It's not. It's some video he did on Instagram.
Oh right.
About 3 years ago, and whoever this person is, they're instead of actually you doing live video, they've switched it to screen share, and they're playing that video through a media player. You see.
Well, I mean that would actually be quite easy to do. I could just sit here, take no calls, and be running a video saying live, and you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know. Well, that's one of the reasons, actually, that clock is behind me. Because I like to prove that I'm live. But even then, if I was clever about it, I could set that clock for 8 o'clock and record a show at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and just hit the play button at 8 o'clock and you wouldn't know any difference. The only reason you really know this is live is because I'm talking to someone on the phone. But even then, now you know I'm live. Okay? But for other people, I could have recorded this whole thing with certain people like yourself and Claricea and all that. I could have recorded this earlier with the clock behind me, and this could be a recording now. But, it would be a bit of an effort, and I haven't really got time to muck around doing that stuff. You do lose something when you're not doing it live. You kind of lose a little bit of a spark.
Yes, indeed.
Well, there is, as I say, there is a what do you call it? A scam going around at the moment. And I wondered if some of you had been scammed before. And this is it. This is an NHS. This is a coronavirus one. In the BBC website again, the NHS has warned people to be vigilant about fake invitations to have the coronavirus vaccine. Now, these have been sent by scammers. I mean, it's just... They have no morals at all, these people. They really don't. It says the scam email includes a link to register for the vaccine, but no registration for the real vaccine is actually required. The fake site also asks for bank details. As soon as you see people asking for bank details, you must immediately, you know, have your little hairs on the back of your neck stand up on end and give you some sort of warning, right? Unless you're actually buying something. You know, I'm just trying to think of a single example of a company that would email you legitimately and ask for your bank details, because I can't think of any. And even if they did, you would never, ever send in your bank details on an email or anything like that. Never do that. If they really want to, you could. What I would do, for example, you know, if I got an email from Barclays Bank, you know, we desperately need you, I would then seek out their correct phone number, ring them, or even go into a branch and say, I've just had a phone call and an email. Can you tell me this is legitimate? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is no, it's not. Yeah. But this fake site says it's asking for bank details, either to verify identification or to make a payment. The NHS said it would never ask for bank details, and the vaccine is free. So that's another one now, you see. The COVID-19 vaccine is free of charge. We will, this is the NHS, never ask for your bank account or card details, your PIN or banking password, copies of personal documents to prove your identity, such as your passport, driving licence bill or payslip. They would never do that. And there was a similar scam that I talked about on the radio show this morning. Don't know if you heard it, but you know, sometimes when you ring up someone, okay, and they ask for the first and third number of your PIN or password and all that sort of thing. You know that, Danny?
Yes.
Well, this one rings you. And as I've said before, if someone's ringing you and asking for details, put the phone down. No one's going to ring you and ask for any PINs or any passwords or any of that stuff, right? But if you've made the call, that's a different thing. And this particular scam, some woman is ringing, in this case, university students, because they've all got like money in their account for the, what do you call it, for payments.
Yeah, the student thing. Yeah.
Is it £9,000? £9,500, whatever it is. They've all got like £9,000, which is what I gathered from this thing. Right. So this woman rings these students up and says, "Oh, hello. Sorry to trouble you. I'm at the whatever university. Just need to take your account. Your name is so and so." She gives them the name. You know, Danny Woodhouse. Thank you, Danny. Can I have the first? And they've got pins set up. 4-number pins, right? So she says to these people, "Can I have the first and third number of your pin?" Right? Now, you probably would think that's quite, oh, well, she's not asking for the whole number. That's fair enough. And you might say, 2 and 2. Oh, sorry, I didn't quite hear that. Once again, can I have the second and fourth number of your pin, please? Then you give her the other 2 numbers.
Oh.
Now she's got the whole pin. How clever is that? And people who weren't paying full attention or perhaps a little bit busy with their lives would trip on them that because she first asked for the third and third numbers, then pretended not to hear you, or said the line got a bit noisy then. I said, "Could I have the second and fourth number of your pin?" And then these foolish people, well, they're not foolish. They're not stupid people. I don't think anyone's stupid doing this. They're not kind of with the thing. Do you know what I mean? They're not stupid people. A lot of people make mistakes. A lot of them are elderly. They're not used to this sort of thing. They think it's quite normal for someone to ring up and say, "Can I have your password so I can check your account, please?" And they lose hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of pounds, some of these people, from pension funds and all that. It's terrible. It's terrible. And then they lose the money and that's it. They can't get it back from anywhere.
No.
But that's the scam I came across this morning, and that was something someone uploaded to TikTok, Danny.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I think you've got a little fan club now, Danny. People that like you calling in.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
you've got a little fan club. Sometimes I get a little text from someone. Let's see if it's "Where's Danny tonight?" or something like that. Yeah, I do.
Oh. Well, yeah. I'm surprised really because I'm not. In fact, to be honest, Chris, you remember Maureen Lipman? She invented the word telephobic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she was talking to her granddaughter or son on the phone.
Grandson.
And they were talking about various phobias or something.
Yeah.
And how well are you doing at your school exams, wasn't she? Maureen Lipman. Is she still with us? Maureen?
So I believe, yeah,
I think
she's
she
still
is,
going.
isn't she? Yes, yeah. Yeah, she was good, wasn't she, on the old Busby adverts? That little yellow bird. We just mentioned it.
Well, I think Busby had well gone by then.
Had he? Oh, I can't remember now.
But yeah, because she did the famous one she did was reserved for Mrs. Jones. She goes into a load of department stores and says, "Oh, have you got, I think I'll have that dishwasher." And then someone walks by and goes, "Oh no, we can't have that. That's reserved for Mrs. Jones."
Oh, I
And
don't
I'll have
remember
one of
that
them.
one,
No,
Danny.
that's reserved for Mrs. Jones. And then she goes, "Oh, can I have this one? Is this reserved for Mrs. Jones?" He goes, "No, it ain't." He said, "Oh well, I don't want it then. If it's not good enough for Mrs. Jones, it's not good enough for me."
I don't remember that one. I do remember her adverts for the British Telecom. They were really popular, though. I mean, really popular they were, weren't they?
Yeah, because that's how you do it. You just get a proper celebrity in and have a little story in your adverts.
Yeah. What, in here?
I've got a clue about how to advertise these days.
Who hasn't?
The people, I've not seen one advert. I mean, the only advert I can be is either that Mrs. Jones one or the famous one was my name. Oh yes, it's J.R. Hartley.
Asking for his paperback book. Bless his heart.
Yes, that he lost.
Imagine going into a shop and asking for your own book. Honestly, dear.
Yes.
That's a bit like me going around and listening to my own show on the earphones as I walk around.
Yeah, as if you well.
Oh, Danny. As always, a very entertaining call. Thank you very much, Danny.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris.
Bye-bye, sir. There we are,
Bye.
Danny
Bye.
in Essex this evening. 0208 144 3477. Anyone else who wants to go? We're doing on time. It's all right. 29 minutes past thing. Talking of vaccines and our Florella Benjamin. Do you remember her? Mentioned her on the radio show as well this morning. She's had her vaccine now. Oh, Florella Benjamin. What child who's now my age, 55 plus, what man or woman of that age now cannot possibly know Florella Benjamin, who's in the UK? She's got to be one of the most known names, isn't she? Beautiful lady. And she's had her first vaccine. Baroness Florella Benjamin has spoken of her pride after receiving a first coronavirus vaccine dose. And she doesn't age. Here. Let's take a photo of her. Love her. Now there's someone I'd like to meet. There you go. That's Florella Benjamin. Queen of Play School. Her and Brian Cant, wasn't it? Now, Brian died a little while ago. That's Florella Benjamin. Of course, at that time, it has to be said, in the 1970s, it was very unusual to see a black lady on the telly. Now, quite a normal thing, and so it should be, But it was quite unusual for that on the telly at the time. But we loved her. Of course, we were all kids. You'll find most children are actually colourblind. It's only the blooming adults that get it into her head that person's better than that, which is just all crap, isn't it? But we all know her at that age, don't we? Good luck to her, and I hope she goes on for many, many more. Play School. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Windows. Da-da. I can't play you the music on here. I did play it this morning, but I'm not licensed to play music on here, unfortunately. All right, now what else have we got here? Afternoon naps. Do you have an afternoon nap, and how long does it go on for? My afternoon naps tend to be a minimum of about an hour and a half and an absolute maximum of 3 hours. Usually, I would say I'm about an hour and a half, an hour and 3/4. Tonight was probably 2 hours. A bit tired tonight for some reason. Sometimes you're more tired than others. I've still got my blooming throat thing going on here. Really, it's. I spoke to my specialist doctor yesterday. I've just got to go in for a checkup of something. Whenever they tell me to go in, but I've also got a little bit of a throat thing, so I told him about that. It's like, it's that's. Where is it going? It's just there. It's there. It almost feels like there's a pill stuck there or something, you know, a pill or something. It's not too bad at the moment while I'm chatting away to you. I can't really feel it at the moment. Clarissa says, do you remember Where's Sid? Yeah, the British Gas salesman, wasn't it? Where's Sid? Selling British Gas shares, wasn't it? Anyway, back to this. Having an afternoon nap in the sun. It says, having an afternoon nap can boost your memory and is linked to better cognitive abilities. Experts have revealed you should be cleverer. Well, I don't know what's going on with me then, dear. It's not working on me, is it? I'm not very clever. Huh? I mean, I can sit here and talk crap. That's about it. Published in the online journal of General Psychiatry, experts state that as people age, their sleep patterns differ, with naps becoming a frequent feature. Perhaps we should have a nap together, gang. Is that appealing to you? How about if one afternoon I put my little camera next to my bed and we go live and we all just have a 2-hour nap together? Would that be a bit creepy? Or would that be something that you might like to do? Or even at night? We could all sleep together at night. Is that appealing to you at all? And I've put my little camera next to my bed and simply go to sleep. You have a little cameras next to you or video things, you know. Go to sleep. All sleep together. Is that a little bit... Is it creepy or does that sound like something fun? And then whoever wakes up, whatever, you know, I wake up in the morning. I'll have to remember, I might have to wear pyjamas though, because I do sleep naked. Do you sleep naked? We'd all have a little sleep together, a little nap or something like that. Anyway, do you nap? Do you do that? Across the world, 1 in 10 people over the age of 65 are affected by dementia, which is just a... Perhaps you've got a member of the family or you know someone who was affected by that. Horrible, isn't it? In the UK, more than 920,000 people are living with the condition, a number expected to rise to over 1 million in a couple of years' time. Current research doesn't state whether or not afternoon naps could help stave off cognitive decline and whether they might be a symptom of dementia. Experts analysed over 2,000 healthy people aged 60 and over in large cities in China. Of all the participants, 1,500 took regular naps and 680 didn't, but all underwent health checks and cognitive assessments, that's like brain test type things, including mini mental state exam to check for dementia. Last week it was reported that Boris Johnson enjoys an afternoon power nap, although Number 10 later denied this. Apparently he doesn't sleep. Oh, I don't know. I reckon he has a sandwich. What do you reckon he has for lunch? Sandwich and a couple of bags of crisps. Oh, I could do with them. Oh, I've got crisps downstairs. Might have those afterwards with a cup of tea. The researchers classed an afternoon nap as anything below 2 hours of consecutive sleep. But it had to be over 5 minutes and taken after lunch. So that's me. So I usually have lunch at about 1 o'clock. 12:30, 1 o'clock. 1:30 maybe. And I usually go to bed at about 3. That's when I'm normally having a little bit of a sleep. Participants who napped more often had higher scores of one of these brain tests than those who didn't. The test monitors working memory, attention span, problem solving, locational awareness, and verbal fluency. And it's funny they mention that verbal fluency thing. And I gotta say, I often, although it's been happening for a while, I do trip up on words. Sometimes there's a word I want and it's not coming in. or a name. And I do sometimes wonder, maybe are you losing it a little bit here, by not being able to get to that word or not. Do you have a little afternoon nap at all? How long do you sleep for? 5 minutes? An hour? 2 hours? My mum used to fall asleep in front of the telly at night time. She'd, as she got older, and I'd be sitting there in the armchair. Dad would be in the corner there. Mum would be there on the settee, and you'd look over, and she always had an orange at night. She'd sit there and eat an orange. She had an orange and a knife and a little plate. She'd sit there in the middle of that settee, and she'd have eaten the orange, and she'd be like this. The glasses sort of hanging down like this. Mum! Oh. Christ. That we wish that day would come back again, don't we, eh? Secret tunnels. Now, this was on the BBC London news tonight, which I noticed. Picked it up from yesterday's Metro. HS2 protesters. That's the new train that they want to build. To save us 20 minutes to get to Manchester. Billions and billions of pounds this is costing. Where does that come from? Where does all this money come from? All this, virus money? The money to buy the vaccines? The money to keep people on furlough? The help that they're giving businesses? The billions of pounds it's costing to build this railway. Where does that money come from? How much money is actually sitting underground in a vault somewhere? That's what I want to know. Is there anything under this house? I need one of those things. Beep, beep. One of those detectors, don't I? HS2 protesters have claimed they have dug and are ready to occupy a 100-foot tunnel network under a London park, which they say is at risk from the railway's construction. They've dug a tunnel. I'm not being funny, but how do you do that? There must be, digging a tunnel in London, there must be a huge risk of the whole damn thing collapsing on top of you, mustn't there? Happens to miners, doesn't it? And all that equipment. We got some Chinese miners rescued this week, didn't we? What a job that is. Going down those dark holes, all that dust. It must be hot down there as well, mustn't it? What an awful job that is of miners. Presumably it's reasonably safe, but accidents happen. Accident could happen if I might go across the road tomorrow and not see a car come. That's an accident as well. But to be under somewhere like a tunnel and suddenly have the roof cave in, if it doesn't get you immediately, you just suffocate to death. What a way to go. Or, perhaps a part of the tunnel collapses. That's where you've just walked out and you can't get back again. Well, I suppose you'd suffocate then, wouldn't you? You'd run out of air. It's blooming dangerous, isn't it? These protesters, you've got to hand it to them. How do you dig a tunnel like that? And without anyone noticing? How? How have they managed to do that? They claim that Euston Square Gardens, which is a green space outside Euston Station, will be built over with a temporary taxi rank before being sold off to the developers. Euston Square Gardens? Well, that's tiny, isn't it? This is like a tiny bit of grass, and they're trying to save that? Oh, for Christ's sake. I can understand a whole forest, but a tiny little bit of grass? You'd probably get about 10 bums on it, and then it's full up. HS2 Rebellion, an alliance of groups and individuals campaigning against planned high-speed railways, said tree protectors were prepared to occupy the tunnels dug in secret over the last few months. Protesters claim they will stay underground for as long as it takes to stop HS2. Well, Christ, I wouldn't do that. That tiny little bit of grass. Bailiffs moved in on Euston Square Gardens today to evict the protesters. I think you'll probably see it on the news if you put on the London news. But HS2 Rebellion said 4 had made it into the tunnels. A handful of campaigners are on wooden platforms in the trees. Yeah, and I saw this on the telly as well. How has no one noticed that? How are they allowed to build tree houses in trees and no one's noticed? A handful of campaigners are on wooden platforms in the trees where 4 tents have been set up. About a dozen enforcement agents from the National Eviction Team are monitoring the area from the ground. Christ. A spokesman for HS2 said it could not comment on the specifics of protesters' activities as it was yet to take possession of the land, but said illegal action could be a danger to people's safety. Yeah, you could be going under there just for a walk and one of these bods falls out of his tent onto your head. That's not good, is it? Wow. Tunnellers have worked around the clock using pickaxes, shovels and buckets to create the network codenamed Calvin. I thought they made underpants. Mike in Brighton's got a pair of those, haven't you, my darling? Didn't you leave them around my house 25 years ago? With the help of local residents, spoil from the digging has been used to fortify the barricades at the network's entrance and insulate the pallet fortress to keep tunnellers warm as they sleep between shifts. The tunnels are supported by wooden joists and thick boards to prevent collapse, and inside there are stashes of food and water, protesters said. They believe they can hold out in the tunnel for several weeks, and in hope this time that a court will rule against HS2 for breaking the law by attempting an eviction without a court order. It's not going to happen, is it? You're wasting your time, boys and girls. They're wasting their time. That's not going to stop. You might as well just go home, lads. Gosh. Well, I think they're very brave to be sitting there digging on be it miners. What's that other thing people do for excitement? Potholing. Potholing. You squeeze down these little holes in rocks and you have to time it because at certain times these tunnels fill up with water. I mean, why would anyone want to do that? Dear, these people want to die, don't they? Hello to Shania. Shania left for a moment or two to go to the rosary. Thank you, Shania. It's very kind of you to say that. Claricea says it only takes 2 hours and 10 minutes now to get from London to Manchester. It just seems to be an awful waste of money. It really does stuff like that. Gary Ross has sent in a super chat. Thank you, Gary. Thanks very much, Gary. Very kind of you to send in a super chat. And the super chat is to win this. He sends in a little prize, a little super chat. I'll give him some free raffle tickets. 5 in this case. Oh, that's wrong, isn't it? Why have I put that? There it is. That's the super chat prize. The backdrop there of Father Christmas and the Snowman. I'm walking on the air. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. He wins the Snowman, the Father Christmas backdrop. Will he win? Watch to find out. That will be not this Saturday morning, but the Saturday morning after. All right, my loves? Because the next show on this channel is Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Okay, we do 2 night ones, 8 o'clocks, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday morning at... Actually, we're going to do Saturday morning at 9. We're going to move it. I'm going to move to Saturday morning at 9 because I'm finding it's eating too much into the day and everything is so late afterwards. So this Saturday will be Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, all right? Just remember that, gang. There you go. 5 raffle tickets for you there, Gary. And it may be that that's too early for people to be there, 9 o'clock in the morning, in which case we'll move it to one of the night times, all right? There you go. 5 raffle tickets for you there, Gary. All right. And also, Mick Davenport sends in a £3 super chat. Thank you, Mick. So 3 little raffle tickets for you. That'd be nice for you, Mick, wouldn't it, eh? There you are, you could have that. Where is it again? Could have that up there for Christmas, Mick. Put it in the old Christmas. Do you have a Christmas box or carrier bags or something like that? That you keep all your bits and pieces in for Christmas? I've got a few bits in the spare cupboard there. You know, about time I bought some new stuff, really. There you go, Mick. 3 raffle tickets for you there. Okay. And they go in the same one. Little pot here. There's a few in there. There's not too many in there. It's about, what have we got in there? About 10 altogether. There's about 10 in there, okay. Something like approximate, not exact, approximate. Anyone else, if you're sending me a super chat, £1 super chat, I'll give you a free raffle ticket. Okay, thank you, Fran. Good. Now, where were we now? Let's have a look there. The Queen. Who do you think rents stuff from the Queen? You'd be surprised. In The Sun, it's reporting the Queen is Burger King of making rental properties. Obviously, the Queen's got a lot of land. I don't suppose for one moment she goes, look, hello, can I have my rent, please? On the doors of Burger King, because that's one of the companies that rents land off her. The Queen is Burger King of making rental profits from 8 McDonald's branches and 7 Nando's. Marks and Spencer's, Costa Coffee, Curry's, TUI, Next, Boots, New Look and EE Outlets are also renting land from the Queen. I never knew. Did you know this? I know, like, she owns forests and parks and things like that. I didn't know she actually owned land, like retail outlets are on. Number of shops on her land. You ready for this? Marks and Spencer's, 15. 15 Marks and Spencer's on the Queen's land. Costa Coffee, 12. Next, 12. Boots, 10. New Look, 10. McDonald's, 8. JD Sports, JD Sports. That's where I get my trackies from. JD Sports, 8. River Island, 8. EE, 7. Nando, 7. Primark. She's even got Primark on there, 7. She don't care, does she? It's not like you would have thought it'd be like Waitrose and Harrods. Nope. Primark, Superdry, Card Factory, H&M, TUI, Curry's, Halfords, Outfit, Shush. What's that? Shush. I know what that is. And Starbucks. There isn't actually hasn't got Burger King up here, which I said. They are among, or it might have it, they are among 218 brands, including, ghastly place, close your ears, Shania, Ann Summers. I don't like those things. Ann Summers. Frilly knickers and all that sort of thing. Zzz, you know. Zzz. Anyway, that's 16 shopping centres in England that form part of the Queen's £14.1 billion property empire. Didn't know she had that, did you? I didn't. Cities with one include Liverpool, Newcastle and Oxford. Her portfolio is managed by Crown Estates, who actually manage the Swinley Forest, where I go picking up litter. Her portfolio managed by Crown Estates, an independent firm, which pays rent profits to the Treasury, which in turn returns a quarter to the Queen through the sovereign grant. Well, I never knew that, did you? Rental income is also collected from an Aspers casino and a Carlsberg distribution warehouse, according to the research carried out by mortgage comparison site Bankrate. A royal source says, I doubt the Queen will be visiting any of the McDonald's and Nando's branches, but her staff most certainly would love to. Crown Estates didn't wish to comment. Didn't we see years ago... Oh, thank you, Shania. Shania sent in a super chat as well. Thank you, Shania. A super chat and a picture of a little cat. Thank you, Shania. £1.99 super chat. I hope that's not come out of the church collection plate, my darling. You'll be very busy with those Hail Marys tomorrow, my love. Huh? Shania Steele. Oh, do you know what, Shania? Now, you know I don't bother too much about numbers. Remember when I played the organ, Ave Maria, Immaculate Mary, recorded at the Wokingham Church, Corpus Christi. And I've got a channel. Actually, I've got another YouTube channel, Religious Music and Hymns. I've recently changed the icon that to a gold cross rather than a picture of my face. Because I rebroadcast the Mass from the church I go to on Sundays, I thought it was a little bit wrong to have a picture of my face as the channel logo. So I've replaced it with a gold cross now. So I felt a bit, it was wrong, really, to use that to advertise myself. But on that same channel, I've got some videos of me playing the organ, one of which is Immaculate Mary. Do you know it's up 550 people have watched that now? It's good, isn't it? I was looking the other day. 2 little tickets for you there, Shania. Thank you very much for that, my darling, for the super chat there. Perhaps we'll all be renting stuff off the Queen one day. Yeah, it was old, wasn't it Diana once? She took her 2 children, Princess Diana, years ago into McDonald's. I seem to remember that somehow. Eh? And old William, he's not akin to popping out the car and going into a shop, is he? Can you imagine that? You just imagine that. You're perhaps running a little corner shop or something like that. And there you are. And suddenly Prince William just, hello, can I have a bag of cheese and onion crisps, please? I wonder what he buys when he goes into these little newsagents. Perhaps something for his little children, for George. Is it George? His little boy. Bless him. Just sitting there. Mrs. Pat Vale, who runs the dry cleaners just down the road. I wonder what she'd say if Prince William just popped in. Can I leave my jacket with you? Is that how it works? No, they've got people to do that, dear people. Shania says she won't be eating tomorrow now. Oh, well, Shania. Do you want to go on my list then? Do you want to join my Weight Watchers thing? You don't have to. If you want to, I can put you on the list, my love. You'll have to give me a weigh today, darling, all right? We close the phone lines now. Thanks very much for your calls tonight, gang. You can still text in at the moment. 07551 259 675. 07551 259 675. Or send an email, Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Mike says, on the subject of the afternoon naps, I can't handle an afternoon nap. Well, you'd have to if you were working night times, wouldn't you? Or would you just sort of... Because Mike had a job lined up. Unfortunately, it finished before it even started because, of course, it was a job in a hotel and I hadn't been able to open. And it was a night porter's job, which I think that's quite a nice job to do, night porter. It's not bad, is it? But presumably you would finish work at, 8 o'clock in the morning? And then you'd go to bed and do your sleep in one go, and then... Yeah, I mean, it's... I don't think I'd want to go night working like that. If I had to do a normal job, I would like to start at 5 in the morning, 5 or 6 in the morning, and then you'd finish by 1 or 2. That's where I'd like to work. If I had to work in a business again, then I think I'd rather start really early in the morning, maybe 4 in the morning. Yeah, I could see myself doing something like that. But night work, where you start at 8 at night, because then you just lose the whole day, don't you? It's not for me, really. Yeah, Mike says, I can't handle an afternoon nap. I wake up grumpy. Getting to sleep at night is impossible for me these days. They say it's a COVID side effect of not having your usual routine. And it's driving him mad, unfortunately. Well, I mean, you know the answer to that, don't you, Mike? It's really easy. All you've got to do is watch one of my shows. You've got to admit by now you must be feeling a bit sleepy after sitting there and watching this crap for 2 hours. Huh? You must do. I wouldn't. How anyone can sit there and watch this for 2 hours is beyond me. It really is. And Shania can't. She has to disappear and do the rosary. She stopped it for a while. Shania. At one point, she was doing the rosary and watching this show at the same time. until Bishop Philip found out, and I have no idea how that happened. No idea how he found out, my love. We'll do one more story, and then I think we'll wrap up tonight. Last lot of texts in, please. 07551 259 675. And our final story on the show today, in the Daily Mail. Would you class yourself as a villain? As in like a character villain? Daily Mail, from Cruella de Vil to Darth Vader. Which villain would you like to be? Okay? Which villain would you like to be? Text in your answer. 07551 259 675 or email chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. From Cruella de Vil to Darth Vader, some of the most iconic characters in movie history have been the villains. Now a new study has revealed that people who prefer fictional villains to heroes are more likely to be villainous themselves. Oh dear, because I would like to be a villain. If you tell me what villain you'd like to be, I'll tell you what villain I'd like to be. Or maybe you want to tell me what villain I should be. Text in your answers 07551 259 675. What villain would you like to be? And what villain do you think I should be? In the study, the team found that people who prefer villains often fit into the so-called dark triad of personality traits, scoring high for narcissism, Machiavellism. Oh, blimey. What are those words? I'm not even going to try and read that. Some individuals may come to engage positively with villainous characters because they are like them. That is because they share their villain's immoral outlook to some degree. Oh, I don't like to think I'm immoral in any way, shape or form, my love, you know. Can't be any more. Chariots has closed. Have you heard that? Chariots has closed permanently. I'm in pieces here, dear. That's it. It's all over. Chariots has closed. Nice little club that I used to go to a couple of times. Closed. Went there for years. More than 1,000 people from North America were given questionnaires to fill out on their personality and views toward fictional characters. They were asked to think about specific villains that spring to mind, as well as their well-known controls. Mr. Smith from the Matrix franchise, Mystique from the X-Men, and Darth Vader of Star Wars. I hated Star Wars. Didn't like it. Funny, innit? They were asked about specific villains and had to respond to certain statements and indicate how much they agreed. These included: I tend to want the villain to succeed in achieving his or her goals. And I tend to feel I have a better understanding of the hero than of the villain. They had it found strong links between people who scored highly for the dark triad. Particularly, I'm going to try and say the word, Machiavellianism and psychopathy. Are we all psychopaths? Am I a psychopath? Little old me, dear. Harmless old me. Narcissism describes a grandiose and entitled interpersonal style whereby one feels superior to others and creates validation the researchers write. And it goes on a little bit more. And there's more story if you want to read that. That's in the Daily Mail. But what villainous character would you like to be, gang? Text in your answer 07551 259 675. And what would you want me to be? Can I just show you something? I completely forgot about this. But Gary Ross, who sent in a super chat a little while ago, thank you, Gary, sent in a little picture of himself as a little boy. There we go. Gary Ross drives those great big truck things. So it obviously started at an early age. Why have you got a hammer there, Gary? Is there a face on the front of that car? Oh, bless him. Look. Thank you, Gary. He sent me in that about a week ago or so, and I keep forgetting to show it on there. So sorry about that. Thank you, Gary. A little picture of him as a little boy. Bless his heart. I'm just trying to think, actually, Gary, if you would be some sort of villain. Could you be a villain, maybe? I don't know. Little pretty boy face like that. Maybe a JR. Could you be a JR? Rachel says, if I was a villain, it would be Harley Quinn. What is that? I don't know what Harley Quinn is. That's a new one to me. Harley Quinn, did you say there? I don't know what Harley Quinn is. She says, but I'm happy being Wonder Woman. Stopping the bullets with her wrists. Thank you, Rachel. Clarissa said she would be Maleficent. I think you'd make a good Maleficent. I love that film, don't you? Maleficent. It's sad. At one point, you actually feel sorry for her, don't you? Great Disney film. George Bond would like to be the Iron Man. Yeah, I can see you as the Iron Man, George. I can see you as the Iron Man, George. Fran Green writes, she loved working nights in colour care photos. The things we saw. I'm sure you did, because of course you were developing pictures at the time, weren't you? And of course, in those days we had to send our pictures off. Nowadays, the kids take all. I mean kids, you know, people at school and that, they take pictures of themselves completely naked and send them to each other. That's what I've seen in the papers. Years ago, you couldn't do that. You'd have to send your pictures into a place of development, wouldn't you? Like, what do you call those places? So chemists used to do them, didn't they? What do they call it? Photo developing shops. Photo developing shops. I'm just imagining that. I would never dream of taking a picture of myself, bits and pieces of myself, and then sending it to someone for development. Sod that. And the embarrassment you go. And sometimes I seem to remember, actually, I seem to remember years ago taking in photographs, and you'd get there to pick them up, and then the chemist would come out with your little packet of photographs. There you go, Mr. Reardon. And then he would get the photos out and say, there you go. So this one here, if you just unblur the legs a bit, that's why that one looks like that. And he would then go through the photos with you to check that you're happy with them. Sod that. You imagine the kids doing that now. But it wouldn't bother them. Because they say they don't just take pictures of themselves and keep them for themselves. They send them to each other in the classrooms. It's awful, isn't it, how things go? Rachel says, Harley Quinn is the Joker's girlfriend. I didn't know that. I don't know who that is, Rachel, to be honest. I'm not really I mean, I used to watch Batman as a child, you know, the old one. Batman. But I used to watch that years ago. But I wasn't really into it, if you see what I mean. I personally... The bad character I would like to be would be Ursula. You know Ursula in The Little Mermaid. Poor unfortunate child, poor unfortunate souls in pain, in need. That one. I'd like to be Ursula. That would be my character. All right, gang, that's it today. Thanks very much for joining us on our Wednesday night chat show. There'll be another chat show for you on Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, okay? Let's move it forward an hour. 9 o'clock on Saturday morning will be our next chat show. I'm on the radio tomorrow. If you're around, 9 o'clock in the morning, reachonair.com is where you'll find me on there, okay? reachonair.com. Show's only on for an hour. It's 9 till 10 o'clock. And it is a laugh. I try to make it nice and upbeat and fun. I try to make it fun. And I've got my opening line. We're very, very well prepared here at United Kingdom Talk, stroke the Reach Berkshire Radio Studios. I've already got my opening line here. Look at this. My 1, 2, 3. There's 4 lines actually. All I'm saying is that it involves a black cloth face mask on my opening line tomorrow. Okay, what will it be? You'll have to listen tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock at reachonair.com. Don't forget, if you've got a smart speaker, you can listen on there without having to sit at an old computer. Okay, if you've got Google Mini, and I've still yet to locate anyone with a Google Mini speaker. If you've got a Google Mini speaker, just say to it, play Reach on Air. You can ask our lady Siri, hi Siri, play Reach on Air, and she should start playing it. If you've got an Amazon device, you first need to go into your app and enable the skill Reach on Air. Then close your app down, and then you just say, Amazon, play Reach on Air, and it should just play for you. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night, and I'll see you again for another chat show on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. Thanks very much for your super chats as well. Very kind. Cheerio.